Namaste, dear listeners, and welcome to the IWA channel Astro in with Abhi, Oneness in Astrology and Spirituality, bringing in awareness by Abhi. Guys, thank you so much for all your beautiful reviews. Thank you so much for the feedback that I get also from my podcast that I put on Spotify, and not forgetting the TikTok, the channel. On my previous podcast, we've discussed I've explained one of the questions that were given to me, which was um, the five sheets. So the five sheets of the body. Now, there's another question that's given, which is a follow up from that on soul. What is the soul? So I'm going to explain this based on my awareness, which is awareness by Abhi, and I really hope I can do justice to this question or in my explanation. All right. So we've already discussed the five bodies. Now, I want you guys to imagine peeling the back layers of an onion. Now, each layer revealing a very deep or a deeper, more intricate aspect of your being. This is the essence of the five koshas. Remember, I explained the five koshas, so the five bodies, in my previous podcast. Now, if you didn't listen to that, you should, but I will just go very quickly. The five is the Anamaya Kosha, which is the physical body, the Pranamaya Kosha, which is the Shakti, the energy body, the Prana, the energy, the force body, energy body, or the day after is the third body, the Manamaya Kosha, which is the mental body. Then we go into the Vijnamaya Kosha, which is the subtle body, and then lastly we go into the innermost body, which is the Anandamaya Kosha, which is the bliss body. And then we've got obviously the Atman, which is soul, which we're going to talk about. All right. Now, there was a huge confusion between, the fifth, the fifth body and Atman. Because here you've got somebody, saying, Abhi, there's five bodies, then where is the spirit? Isn't the last innermost the most? Wow, see. The Anandamaya Kosha is the innermost layer, yes, known as the bliss body. This is where you experience a limitless freedom, love, and joyousness of your true nature. Yes, it is the deepest and subtlest of all five bodies. Wow, it must be felt and experienced. You can't really explain it, right? Um, so, is this the soul? Is this the Atman? That's the question. Based on my experience, right? The Atman is, or the soul is inside that. So, yes, based on my experience, the Atman is within that, is more deeper into that. But it's not any body, it's limitless, it's completely limitless. And I would describe this as not the fifth body, which is the Anandamaya Kosha, right? So there is a difference there. So the soul or the Atman is different from the Anandamaya Kosha. Very, very important to understand, good human beings. Now I'm going to explain the soul. What is the soul? Now, in my next podcast, I'm going to discuss exploring the connections between koshas and chakras. Right? So I will do that in my next session. But I want to talk about soul, because this is a question given to me. What is the soul? So, soul or Atman, is, is the inner self or the real essence of an individual. It's distinct from the physical and the mental aspects, which are temporary and changing. Now, the pursuit of understanding soul is a key for achieving moksha or liberation or spiritual liberation. This state is characterized by a bliss and an absence of sorrow. This liberation is not attained merely through rituals or intellectual study. So, no, you cannot get liberated from rituals, and you can never get liberated from intellectual study. It takes a deep self realization and detachment from sensory objects and actions, and this is what I always talk about. All right? So, the Atman or the soul closely relates to Brahman, the universal spirit. Now, realizing this unity is central for spiritual enlightenment. Now, in contrast, Atman refers to everything that is not Atman. An Atman refers to everything that is not Atman. encompassing the mind, ego, and objects of consciousness. So, an Atman is different. Anatman relates to the concept of samsara, the cycle of rebirth, driven by ignorance, non realization of the soul. Here, the individual identifies with the physical and mental aspects, mistaking them for the true self. Right? Yeah, it is a bit confusing, I do know, but as you spend time meditating and you rise in vibration and you break the first, the second, third dimension of consciousness, it starts to make sense. All right. So yeah, I hope it makes sense to you, good human beings. So thank you very, very much for the question. So I would like to describe the soul as that which is part particle for a supreme consciousness, which is the universe. It one that amalgamates into the superconscious. So like a droplet in the ocean, like a spark from the fire. Remember, when we aren't paying attention to the body signals, we do lots of things. We eat when you're not hungry. So if you just pay attention to your body first, in time, you can unlayer each or unravel each layer of your being, from the physical to the energy to the mental to the subtle and to the bliss body, and then from there, your self-realization. This is Atman, Brahman. All right. So thank you very, very much, dear listeners, for listening to me. Good luck to you all in your spiritual journey. Jai Shri Ram, Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Shri Krishna, Hare Bol.